This lesson we're going to be looking at keyboard shortcuts. So the keyboard shortcuts for PC, and there's also keyboard shortcuts for the Mac shortcuts, and then also for Chrome shortcuts. And the Chrome shortcuts are very similar to what we get with the PC shortcuts. So if you're working across devices, the biggest difference is going to be between the Mac shortcuts and the PC shortcuts. But again, they're relatively the same. It's big differences between the command and also the control buttons and what they're able to do with the shortcut. So a lot of the shortcuts are very common shortcuts, such as copy, paste, and cut, and also select all, redo, and undo. So these are commonly used in other applications as well. So you can use it in Gmail as well as you can use it in Word. So a lot of these are very common type shortcuts. There's also find and replace. So those are also very common shortcuts. And if you're just starting out with shortcuts, I would suggest that you try out the shortcuts, the common ones first. So the common action shortcuts. And then you can also look at the text formatting shortcuts. So a lot of times these bold, italicize, underline, depending on how much you're doing of this, then you can be applying those. Some of the other shortcuts that are more specific that aren't really as commonly used, again, depending on what your use case is, you might be using them. And if you're inserting alt text in a lot of images, then you might want to get familiar with the alt text for drawings and images. If you're inserting comments, quite often there's another option there for comments, to insert comments quickly, as well as maybe footnotes. And I would suggest that you start out with the content and how you're working and what you need first. Get familiar with it. Don't try to do too many shortcuts at once. It could lead to some confusion. So start out slow with the shortcuts and develop the shortcuts as you go along. The shortcuts are available under the help menu, and there's also, you can press the Control/ and that will also pop up the shortcuts window. And this, again, gives you a listing of all of the shortcuts, and it's organized within the main categories for the shortcuts, as well as you can look up the shortcuts and see what the shortcut options are. And it will automatically detect what operating system you're on and show you the key plus the shortcut.